Johnny Murray here. Welcome back to a brand new review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Herdling, an indie game developed by Okamotive and published by the publishers of Firewatch, a big beloved indie game. And this is an indie game I've been very excited for. Ever since I saw the initial trailer, I was like, I kind of like the concept. I love the art style we're going for. I'm always looking for more indie games to get into, especially this year, man. Indie games honestly have been like one of my favorite things to play this year, and this game just added on top of that, and I can't wait to give you my thoughts on the game right now, today, this video. I'm super excited. Thank you all for clicking on the video. If you guys love video games, this is the place to be, man. Doesn't matter what you love. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, third-party PC, VR, indie, whatever it may be, man. We cover it daily on this channel, and I appreciate all the support you guys give me, especially the support in this video right here. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead. Let's talk about Herdling, this indie game that I really enjoyed. I think this game is such a just nice experience. Truly, I mean, this isn't going to be a game where you're going to get a story that I don't think I cried while playing this game. I don't think I really, fell in love with like what this game had to offer. But I really enjoyed my time with it. I think there is a lot of things. I would love for there to be a Herdling 2. I don't know what they would do from a story point of view, but I think there's a lot of cool gameplay mechanics that they introduced here that we're going to talk about that I would love to see expanded on, and I would just love to visit this world again and what this art style is and some of these characters. There's just a lot to like here, and I'm super duper excited to be talking about it right now. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. And I'm actually going to start with what this game is. I'm actually going to read you the Steam description, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on it. So Steam reads this: head out on a grand alpine expedition with a herd of lovable beasts. As you ascend a mountain path, encounter eerie dangers and surprising obstacles, and forge your way to the mystery at the summit. Yeah, so this is pretty much a game where you're playing a human character, like a little kid kind of, and you basically have to guide this herd of animals to the top of a mountain. And in doing so, you're going to encounter a lot of worldly threats like pollution and like environmental damage, as well as you're going to be encountering a lot of other natural disasters like predators and just obstacles like mountains, like rocks falling, and you have to climb across bridges without having any of the animals fall off. Your whole goal is to protect your herd of animals, leading them to the top of the mountain, and you do it in a way of like, you use your joystick to kind of do this cursor where you have to stand on the opposite side of your herd to make them go in that direction, right? I can't just tell them go left. If I want them to go left, I have to move right. And so it kind of is this like really interesting gameplay mechanic of using this like cursor and movement to help direct this. And it's not like they all just stay in a completely straight line. They all are just moving in this big herd, so you never know when one of them will start slowly going to the right and start going to the left and start moving around. There's obviously a lot that you have to pay attention to, so there is moments where it can be a little bit frustrating, like no, don't go that way. But I really love this. I think it's just something I've never really done or experienced in a game before, and I think they kind of had the idea right. I think they have a really cool idea here, and I honestly think they knocked it out the park, right? I don't think the controls felt wonky in the slightest. I don't think there were like too many issues where animals were getting stuck on things or anything. I think the game worked pretty much as it was intended to, and I have to applaud them for that. It was a unique swing, and I think they hit a home run with it. I really enjoyed what this gameplay had to do. With that, they introduced so many cool concepts. Like I said, you have to avoid a lot of obstacles. I think there are moments where there's like these big, like kind of like bushes that have a lot of thorns in them. You have to make sure they don't run through those. I think that was really cool. There is obstacles where you have to have the animals help you push a big rock or push this wall or pull this thing, and then you have to have them to stand in a circle to activate this certain thing. They do a lot of cool things here, as well as like they do a lot of cool environment things like big winds or water areas where you just have to kind of maneuver them in a certain specific way. It's kind of like puzzles, but it's not like anything to do with letters or numbers or anything. It's just like a movement puzzle. You just have to figure out how to get across, how to get through this without hurting any of the animals. And if you do, you have to figure out how to heal them. And there's just a lot to really like here. I really enjoy myself. This is a game you can easily beat in one sitting if you really wanted to. It took me about 4 hours to beat. It's a really short game. There's about like 5 or 6 chapters, I believe. And each of them kind of take place in a different environment, and you're just doing a lot of cool things. The only issue with the gameplay is I feel like some of these concepts, some of these things that they introduced, they didn't like push to their limits. You know, like I don't feel like there's owls in this game that try to hunt your beast. They introduce that, and then they kind of get rid of it 30 minutes later, and then you don't see it again. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I like what they're doing here. And then they just don't like make it hard. Like they don't challenge the player with a lot of these concepts, right? And this that goes for a lot of the puzzles and a lot of the gameplay mechanics in this game. Is they introduce it and you're like, oh well, yeah, that makes sense for what this game is trying to do. That makes sense for this game's core gameplay, which is directing and, you know, controlling your herd of animals. But then they just get rid of that concept 30 minutes in. And I get it. It's a 4-hour game. You know, you're not gonna have all these different concepts fully expanding throughout multiple hours of the game. I get that, but I would love to see them expand on it and go bigger with it, because the things that are there, I think, are really cool and really fun. I really enjoyed playing this game from a gameplay perspective. I think from a story perspective, it is heartwarming, man. It is heartwarming. You know, you get kind of attached to these animals, and you are going on a journey. You start in one place, and by the end of it, you're like, man, look how far we've come. You do reach a lot of points where you're like, man, how did we even get here? Because there really is no like cuts or like fast traveling or vehicles or anything. You are legitimately taking this whole game by foot. And if you just look from where you start to where you end up, it's like, man, we really came a long way. And I love games like that. I love games where it's all about the journey rather than the destination. And that's what this game is. It's all about the journey rather than the destination. Now, from an actual plot and, you know, like story perspective, it wasn't like as emotional or as like, I don't think any of the story beats hit as hard as I wanted them to. But I think that's okay, right? I think at the end, I was like, okay, I really enjoyed that. That was kind of emotional. I really liked it. It didn't make me cry or anything. It didn't make me like have this emotional like gut wrench feeling or like having me question reality or anything like that. It was just a very solid time. I think the reason I thought we'd probably get a little bit more of like that big story beat where I'm just like really feel emotionally gutted, or I really just am like, wow, what a crazy turn of events, is because of who this game is developed by, Okamotive, and the publishers of Firewatch. Firewatch has that a ton, and I feel like this game did way more on the journey than it did with like the ending or specific story beats, right? All these areas you're going through tackle like, you know, a lot of real world issues like pollution, like things being near extinct, right? There is a lot of different things that this game tackles from a natural, environmental, and worldly point of view that I really enjoy. I just don't think the actual character side of this game hit to the height I wanted. Even though I felt attached to my animals, it's not because of anything story related. It's just because that's what the gameplay is. You have to look after these animals. You spend so much time with them that you can't help but become sort of attached to it. But that's not due to the story though, which I figured would be the case. So there is that. The music in this game is great. Dude, there is moments in this game where the music is front and center. Like, you get this awesome view of like the mountain you're headed towards, and the music, they crank that sucker's volume up. Like, the game will seem quiet, and then music starts playing, and you're like, oh my gosh, because it is just blasting, but it sounds great. And I loved all the different instruments they were using with it. It truly does deliver that kind of indie feel when it comes to the music and the art style. beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful art style, as you pretty much get with any indie game. They just have the coolest of art styles, and I really like this one. Everything is like a paint stroke. Everything feels soft. Some things feel sharp. It really is cool. There's a lot of different colors going on. The way the animals move and the way your character kind of uses their little, like, it's literally a stick to do these different things is really, really cool. And then also, going back to gameplay, this game feels good, right? Like, I think the movement, jumping, climbing things, running around, when you start running really fast, everything feels good. Like, it feels polished. The performance of this game, I think, works really, really well, right? This game is just overall a really, really solid experience. Like, I would recommend this game to anybody because it's fun, it's unique, it's different, it's heartwarming, has a lot of cool elements, whether you're talking about visuals, music. This is a really, really solid game. I'm going to be giving this game an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this game. I go ahead and write this in my little conclusion. Herdling is a heartwarming experience that I would recommend to anyone. While on a gameplay level, it doesn't excel, there's enough there to have fun and enjoy the journey this game takes you on. Herdling introduces great mechanics and concepts, but never pushes them to their limits. For an indie game, this game delivers everything you want: music, art, and heart. And I couldn't feel that more. I really enjoyed this game. I hope we get more of this. Like, I hope we get a Herdling 2, because I would love to see just how they can further explore that. Have a little reunion with your character and these animals. I think would be so fun. And yeah, I recommend this game to anybody. 8 out of 10. That is my score. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below, what would y'all give Herdling? What do y'all think of Herdling? I would love to talk about it. And if you have any recommendations for indie games similar to this that you think I would like, please let me know, because I want to play more. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Johnny Moore out. Peace.